We here. Oh, Wayne took a deep breath. Wayne wants. Go ahead, Wayne. Jump in.
You can
Go
say
ahead.
it. All I was just
It's all
going,
you, baby. It's all
the
you.
formalities. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Tim, Ethan, and Wayne. Ephraim should be on his way. Big game tonight. Big game. Sixers came in. What's his name? What's Weber? Who? What's his name again? Was
Weber
that?
Harden. He had a couple
Yeah, I
good
ain't gonna
games
hold
with the Sixers. Weber Harden Weber had good games with the Sixers too, even though he was.
Listen. I don't. He ain't had none in the playoffs. I ain't gonna hold you.
Wait,
I ain't see him having a game like this. The way that he been playing, I ain't see it. But don't start pumping your chest either, though, because I don't think it's too many people was expecting him to have a game like this. So, but that being said,
go ahead. I'll let you get through you.
That being said, Harden came to play tonight, and B drew a whole lot of attention. The Sixers actually, this game was closer than it needed to be. The Sixers, and Doc kind of mentioned it, the Sixers got out of there when they kept trying to force it to Embiid when Miami was playing that collapsing defense. And when they went just back to playing the way that they play and take advantage of whatever was there, the Sixers was handling them again. And shout out to Tobias playing. Tobias again played a gritty game. Maxey had a little key stretch in there where he was balling. But tonight was Harden night. Harden came out and gave us that Supermax. He looked like a Supermax player tonight.
He did. Listen, this is what I was saying when I was talking about Harden from the beginning. I said you should be able to expect these type of games from Harden at least once or twice a series. I should expect at least a game like this. And y'all was telling me no, he ain't got it. I said, listen, then why'd you trade for him? This is what you traded him for. This is why you gave up 2 first-round picks. This is why you gave up Ben Simmons. This is what we want to see. Don't say act like we not. This is what we want to see. Come on, man. Listen, I'm glad it happened. I wanted this to happen. Harden's playing himself into a max. If we win these series, I promise you, Harden gets the max.
He'll be calling him Weber Harden again that next game. Next game when he scored like 15 points and 12 assists, he's gonna be calling Weber Harden again.
He had a lot of turnovers. What he had, 6 or 7?
Yes.
A lot of turnovers.
Yeah, he had
but
a lot.
It wouldn't matter. His shot was falling. Listen, I hope he take it to Miami. Hope his game travels. We travel. Where the Heat fans at? Y'all in the chat? Are y'all in the chat? Where y'all at?
I saw the one bull was in there early on. The top dog bull. He was here.
Remember when you said you wasn't scared of the Heat?
Yep.
Remember you said that?
All right. Can somebody else get in, or you want to? Did you have? I mean, I came in late, so I don't know how much time you had.
This game was hype, man. This game was hype.
Email. I could rest assured it's not the shirt. It's not the shirt. No, I had to hit the weights a little bit. I've been trying to keep up with my physical fitness, but thanks for the shout out. But on the Sixers tip, listen, man, I agree with Ethan, Wayne. This is all we've been saying, that Harden owes us at least 4 or 5 playoff games like this. Throughout now, however long this stretch goes, he owes us a couple games like this. We gave up, like I said, what we gave up for him. If we'd have offered any other team, we would have got back way more than really 1.5 players. That's all we got back was Harden and Millsap, for real. And Millsap don't even play. So all we got back really for this moment is Harden. So with that being said, the least you can do is come out guns a-blazing. He dropped 13 in the second quarter. Then he dropped how many and a half? 18 and a half or something like that, 20 and a half, whatever, on the second half. He hit bang threes, huge threes, a deep Steph Curry type Jones too. I was surprised he knocked that down, that one toward the end, right in Jimmy's face. But the only reason why Miami's in this game is because of the boy Jimmy Bucket. Jimmy Bucket was balling hard. He was the only reason why we told them Heat fans. Remember the Heat fans last time? You think Miami going to shoot 20-something% from 3 again? Yep, they did it again.
No, they shot 17.
They did. They did it again. And we said one of the factors. Now this game it was a little off because they had some open looks they missed. But one of the factors is always Joel Embiid, the presence defensively in the middle. It allows the defense to stretch out. Great game. I was impressed. Houston Harden was back in the building. We needed that. I'm hyped. It's a new series now. I told my man Maine when I hope I see him tomorrow. I'll always run into him at Wawa in the morning time. He worked for Stroman. I'm gonna tell him, look, I told you we was all right when the big fella came back. Now it's officially a series, best of 3. Let's go.
I love this team too. Race Theory. I love this team too.
What you got, Tim?
All right. The Sixers starters in the playoffs, they're a plus 18. Best in the out of all the playoff teams. When they playing together, they're plus 18. So I didn't have a problem. As long as we're playing together, I thought we always had a chance to win. But I was so impressed today with James Harden. I was a little down because I don't like the turnovers. The turnovers really irks me because Toronto did the same thing. They get a lot of their points off of turnovers. At one point, Toronto had 20 points. They scored 20 points off of our turnovers.
Miami, you mean?
Miami, I'm sorry. Miami had 20 plus points off of turnovers today. So we won despite Joel Embiid missing a bunch of free throws. I wish he would just took off the mask. And we also won despite the turnovers that we had. But with all that being said, I was like, bravo to James Harden. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
That pass that Maxey had with Tobias, that was a nice pass at the end for the oop. And because everybody, I thought we was going to turn the ball over, to be honest with you. So Maxey, we didn't need Maxey's crazy points, but he still gave us like 18, 20 points today. So, I mean, I'm satisfied. We're going to Miami tied, and now it's like the best of 3. So, I don't know if we're going to win it, but I feel good right now.
Well, I mean, to the turnover point, we had 3 more turnovers than they did. So, I mean, I didn't really like the officiating today.
He wasn't
for
going
either
to.
side. For either side, I'm talking about for either side. Like they were erratic. Like it was too many calls that they would wait till after to see if the guy made the basket or not, and then blow the whistle. And they was doing that on both sides. The officiating was a little bit irritating.
No, it was a little bit. I mean, but I will.
Steph Foster's a hater.
I don't mind sometimes. For some reason, I don't mind the late whistle a little bit in situations like this. Like if he make it, then it's like, all right, he make it. But if he miss it, it's like, all right, you did fouling, so I'm gonna have to same to line. I don't mind, for some reason, I don't mind that too much in the playoffs. But I do know what you're saying. The officiating kind of was a little bit goofy, but I can't say too much about the officiating because they was giving B his calls. B went to the line. I mean, he went to, how many times did he go to the line? Every time I turned around, Joel B was at the line. What was the total on his free throw shot? I don't know, it's gonna come up in a second, but he went to the line, so I can't be mad at that.
13 times.
So he got his free throws in. Mm-hmm. Maxey always kind of get a little gypped on his free throws. He's still young, so he don't got that respect like that. But I mean, the way this team played today, the big 4, that's what we need to win. And her. By the way, what I was saying is I'm not saying Harden is going to give you this 4 times in this series. I'm talking about 4 times. If we make a run to the championship, I at least need to see this about 4 more times, this type of game throughout the next couple series, if you know what I'm saying. So what he did tonight, we needed every minute of it, every bucket of it rather, and we got the bag. And now we go back to Miami, series tied at 2. If we can steal this next game of Miami's, I agree with somebody who said this series over in 6. I agree with that. If we beat Miami in Miami Tuesday, the series is over. It's over.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing we got to work on though, they played great defense on denying and beat the ball in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. Doc got to play with a couple of things, see how you can get it beat open. We got to get in that ball. He has to be involved. Can Harden do it again like that? I don't know, but you would like to see Embiid get his hands on the ball. But Harden did what he's supposed to do. Second best player on the team. When it's time to be robbing, that's what you're there for. Show up, clutch buckets. You seen less and less. He was really trying to make the layup. I don't know if Harden got so used to going and getting the contact and playing through it. Not just running and making layups sometimes just seems so difficult for him. I don't know what it is. But look, he came through. Fireball too. Let me get into Fireball a little bit. He played great on Hero. I'll give him his props for that. But when we're on offense, can we make the defense work a little bit? Did he dribble one time? I mean, he doesn't dribble at all. He just touch pass. Like he playing hot potato with the ball. He don't want it. He like,
I mean, that's what Bruce. That's what Bruce Bowen
to do on offense.
That's what Bruce Bowen was. Bruce Bowen didn't dribble the ball. either catch and shoot or pass it. So they just would like for Thibault to be able to hit an open three though. But I mean,
he hit one. He's just man.
Let me ask you this: what about the entry passing, like not trying to get the ball, Embiid not being able to get the ball down low? Like, what can they do different?
I don't think they have to do anything, and that's the point that I'm making. You have all these other guys on your team are getting wide open look. If they're going to camp in the lane and throw three, and that's what Doc alluded to. They asked Doc at one point, they said, well, what can they asked Doc about the running mate. And Doc said at one point, we kept trying to force the ball to Embiid when they were dropping all those people down there. When the Sixers settled down and they took what the defense was giving, because if you're dropping 3 people in there on Embiid, you got 2 other people open. So that's what I'm saying. So you don't force that. And guess what? What happens is if you swing the ball around, the defense got to swing around. They get to move it. And I think a lot of that has to do with Miami missing as many shots as they've missed too, because you're scrambling around on defense. It takes a lot out of you to play high intensity defense and scramble like that.
Yeah. They got tired at the end too. Fourth quarter, they was last 4 minutes. They was done. Miami.
No, I agree with that. Somebody hating on Harden. They talking about.
Hey, hold on. Somebody said what the boy that said Fat Harden.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, guess what, hey, Rod? I'd rather have Fat Harden than have Fat Kyle, because Fat Kyle was flopping around like a fish, grabbing his buttocks. Like, hey, I loved him at Villanova. I liked his grit, but he's become a meme of a player, bro. Like he just run around, flopping around, falling all the time. Like, play ball, man.
You right. Yeah, you right. I agree. That is the
They go to Bodies back, and y'all get on it. Sergeant Bass, and y'all get on the what y'all got to do.
Emo, I agree. That is the point surrounding Embiid with shooters, but we knocking them down now. We not them first 2 games. Even they had good looks them first 2 games too, especially Danny Green. Danny Green has redeemed himself mightily. So has George Niang. Like when they trap, if you can get the ball, like in order to break that zone, you got to do something with the guy in the middle. That's why Embiid goes to the middle. But give credit to Bam for fighting for position, trying to deny. The Heat was trying to deny the ball. They got a couple steals like that too from trying to force it. So sometimes I think you gotta make a move. Harden, listen, he put it on his shoulders and he made the move. When he seen they was denying, beat the ball, he took it upon himself to go either make the move to the basket, that's what you gotta do, or shoot the 3. So that's how you beat that.
No, I agree. I mean, and listen, these dudes owed us some good game. Niang owed us a solid game. He gave us 10 points. He was 2 for 5 from the 3. I think 3 for 6 overall. He owed us at least that game. That's all we want. All I want from Niang, I think we said it before, about a 10 to 12 point game, even about 9. You give me 3 threes, I'm cool with that. Danny did his thing the last game, and this game I think he hit a couple too. He wasn't too bad. What was Danny? He was 4 for 6, 3 for 4 from 3. So this is what we wanted from these dudes. You only have one job, really. Your main job is to knock down an open 3 when B get triple team and that ball come around to you. You open, knock it down. Toby had 13. He did it. He had a solid game, strong on the rebounds, solid defense. Active. Our defense was very active, moving around the court. The only time we looked a little nutty, remember with Harden, I think Maxey threw the pass that got stolen. Harden went down there by himself.
Yeah.
And he got laid up. Harden looked around like, yo, hold up. Where everybody at? What you say, Tim, you muted. Maybe you should stay like that. But
keep him like that.
I was saying that was the first time Harden ever ran out spot. Anyway,
it was. And that's why he looked like, hold on, I know if I'm running, somebody else better be down here.
Now, I gotta give respect. I thought that was a bogus flagrant foul they called on Jimmy Butler, on Embiid, on Jimmy. I mean, that turned out to be a 6 points right there. He got the
but they've been calling it like that all season though.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't agree with it. I get you, but it's not like it was anything out of the norm. That's the kind of calls they've been making.
But then
I don't know.
They chop to throw Tobias, and Tobias laid in the ground, and they act like nobody saw nothing.
But that joint looked a little bit. I don't know. When I seen the instant replay, it didn't look that hard. I looked at it, I was like, Tobias, he going in convulsions like he's about to die, like he hit his Adam's apple or something. Yeah. When I saw it, looked like it just kind of hit him right here. That he kind of this theatrical Niang type acting. I'm
He
like,
was a little bit extra.
get back up and stop playing with me.
You know what though, Tim? To that, go ahead. What you saying?
Now say he's doing some light skin stuff. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying to that point, like what you asked about what the Sixers could do different.
No.
I do.
I sneak that in there.
What happened? Oh, well, I agree with him. But
okay.
but Doc has to get some credit too, though, because you know we rip Doc when stuff don't work and don't you know, but he put Paul Reed in there. I know some people felt B was you can't have B out too many minutes. B needs some rest. Yeah. B's not going to play 40 minutes in the game and give you anything of quality. He brought him out. Paul Reed gave some quality minutes.
38.
Yeah, okay, but he had to come up. Right, but when he took a 5-minute rest, some people almost had a connection that he rested for 5 minutes.
That was a long stretch. It was 6.
It was like 6 minutes. That was a long stretch to be
long stretch.
And guess what? He was able to come back in, and Reed came in, and Reed held his position, held it down. But what Doc also did.
Talking about that B was out in the fourth quarter?
No, talking about in the first half.
Second quarter when B was.
But also what Doc did though is, and he needs to do more of this to the point that you asked what else they could do with it. If you notice, like remember Niang, the Sixers was moving the ball around, and then B kind of swung out of the post, and the traffic kind of came with him, and Niang was isolated with Tyler Hero in the middle of the paint, and he bullied him down there and got the layup on him. And they actually was about to do the same thing with Tobias. They did the same thing. They had Tobias set up in the middle, and it was a whistle blown, some kind of foul call. I don't remember who it was on or whatever, but Doc did that a couple of times where he set it up where they was going to post other people up, especially because they was doing that with the undersized roster, with the undersized lineup. So then it's like you slide Embiid out a little bit, and you slide one of them other guys in there to duck down and get that post position.
I agree. I mean, you gotta tip your hat to Doc when the team plays this well as a team and everybody's involved, you got to get a coach credit for moving the chess pieces around. So, I mean, kudos to Doc. You got to tip your hat to him. I always say in the playoffs, that's when true coaching needs to be done. In the regular season, a lot of times you can win games off of time. You're playing against whack teams. But when you're playing against the same team every night, an upper echelon team, coaching is what's going to help you get these victories. Yeah. After this thing, I can't hate on that.
At this point, everybody knows everybody's game.
Exactly. So you got to be
the first quarter, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Talk about that blocking B had on Marquise. Which twin was it?
I don't know which twin it was, but he got both big shots.
Twins felt that block.
It looked like he tried to throw the ball back in his face.
He did. That block was nasty. The announcer said it was a violent block. I never heard a block described like that before, but he was absolutely right.
Was that
Marquise. It was Marquise. It was Marquise Forrest.
It was one of the twins. It was one of the twins. Yeah, Mark. Okay, Sergeant Bad Marquise. He punched that. But look, in the Yang too. I think it was Oladipo. He was moving his feet, playing defense. Listen, the fire this team got going in him. But that's the only thing I would say about Embiid resting so long is because even when Embiid's on the floor, it just changes the dynamic of the team. You know what I mean? Because he draws so much attention, you got to look for him.
He still needs rest, though. Yeah, he still needs some kind of rest.
He played 38 minutes. That's good. That's what I want him playing every game. 38. I'm cool with 38 minutes.
I mean, if we could get lower, I get lower. I mean, we still think we got another round and possibly another round if we advance. So anytime you could get it, like I like how they set him during the stretch in the second half when we started running and we got the lead, we started getting points. If you keep doing that, you leave him on the bench for a minute. You know what I mean? If Tobias hit the three, Maxey hit a great layup on that fast break when he hung like Ja Morant-esque a little bit when he hung in the air on that joint, then laid it off the glass. Beautiful. That's if you get your team running. See, what I think they do need to do though is when Beat is out, pick that tempo up a little bit more. I think that's what needs to happen. As soon as he go to the bench, let Maxey out there and run. Harden, I guess the problem is Harden. It's hard for Harden to do that, so he kind of stifles that part of the offense. But if they could find a way to run that a little bit more when Beat out that lineup, I think that'll help.
That's not the problem. The problem is if we beat out the lineup, they get no rebounds. In order for you to run the fast break and run the hurry up off, run down the court, you got to get a rebound and get out and run.
Now you can run anytime. I see Golden State check the ball in off somebody scoring run
you
right
can
now. You can run. You can run anytime. It doesn't matter how you want to pace your offense. Like I know what you said.
The Sixers don't have the personnel that Golden State has. That's what I'm saying. All these fast dribbling players.
That's what I'm saying. One of the personnel problems is James Harden. Even though he had a great game, and I'm not trying to hate, it's hard for him to constantly keep that pace of running. So, I mean, if they could figure something out just to get a couple dudes in there to run with B-ball Paul in there, and maybe with what's his name? See, that's the problem with Matisse. And Matisse he's athletic. If he had a semblance of an offensive game, he could be used more as one of them dudes to help you run down the floor. But I can't be too mad. We won.
He can't even push the ball. Like he don't even try to push the ball on a rebound. I don't think he dribbled one time this game. He didn't even bounce the ball.
He don't.
If it's a dunk, it's either gonna be a dunk or he's just gonna take the shot.
Or he won't pass it.
We already know that's what it is, though. That's why, like Ethan said earlier, you just need him to play the defense that he played. See, I get it. Sometimes we want everybody to do everything. You know what I'm saying? If we had if he was a 3-point shooting, if he was a Bruce Bowen, and like if Tyrese Maxey could do this all like for 4 quarters in the game instead of just in spurts, you know what I mean? We would be a dynasty. But that's why that's why it's so amazing when you have teams like that. You just got to use what these guys' strengths are. If Tobias Harris played like a $200-something million man or whatever you getting, if you had all those pieces on here, then the team would be a dynasty. That's why they're not, though, because you that's what I'm saying. You just use your strengths of what you have and you go with it. And Doc did that tonight. I'm saying it's going to be interesting going to I do think it's hurting. I think it's hurting Miami a little bit though. These every other night games too. Because can Jimmy keep this up going every other night? I don't think Fat Kyle can.
I think Jimmy was getting the IV on his Instagram post. He had himself getting the IV or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about who's not killing us? I mean, he's not real productive, but the Shake Milton minutes, they're not bad. He's in there. He's giving us like 10 minutes a game. He's not really doing much, but he's not killing us. Because usually he used to get in there and start really kill us once again.
I expect a little more from Shake, though.
I expect more, but at this point, I don't expect any more.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you with that. I agree with you.
So it's like he is playing. He's part of the rotation now, but he's not killing us. So I don't want to beat him up.
Hey, sexy scenarios. We probably talk about that toward the end of the show, real quick, about what happened with John Morant and was that suspect injury or not. But as regards, somebody said, Charlie M said, why do NBA players act like they dying when they get blue on? I guess it's at the point where you're not trying to sell it. Like you trying to get you trying to get any competitive edge that you can. So you trying to convince the referees that it's as bad as what it is. So I mean, it's irritating sometimes. Like I said with Tobias, when it looked like from the instant replay. Now it could be harder in real life than what it appears on TV. But it didn't look that hard. It just looked like he kind of got hooked. He was you want to go get up. But I am predicting. What Ethan said is true about you said Jimmy Butler had an IV. Yeah,
the other day. On his Instagram page, on the stories, he showed himself getting an IV. Was it true or not? I don't know.
Now I'm predicting. I remember in the bubble against the Lakers when he had that monster game, and the next game he came out and played suspect. I'm predicting a little suspect game. He had 2 back-to-back huge games against us where he kept his team in the game. I don't think he could do it 3 games straight. I'm actually preparing for him. In my mind, I'm predicting that he only going to have about 21.6 next game. And that's going to help us win in Miami.
He has been playing incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, what did he miss? What was his stats? He only missed like
he don't got no help though.
Man, he was giving Jimmy, it to Joel though. That's the crazy.
Jimmy is doing what we kind of would expect the Sixers to be doing, whereas though we expect B to be doing everything and getting no like the games where B would be doing everything, getting no help. That's what Jimmy's doing right now. And Bam Adebayo's a chump. I don't want to never hear no Bam Adebayo. B was Debo. When Debo around, I shut up. But when he leave, I'll be talking again. As soon as B went out, all of a sudden he all hyped up and spinning around and getting layups and getting foul calls and all that. But when B was in the game, he was non-existent. So Hey, Raj. First of all, I just want to say shout out to you in Toronto. I'm glad you're enjoying watching the real team play. Since your bum squad is sitting on the side. But I don't think Harden's going to go off like this every night. But that's the beauty of this team, because we have nights where Maxey could go off. Yeah, now Harden's been shown that he capable of still doing it. B can go off. We even seen Tobias go off. So we have numerous players. We're not just counting on just that one player to go off. Where I think that's Miami has who they got. Well, Jimmy's carrying them and Hero. That's like really their big scoring offensive guys.
Now, I give Raj credit though. I'm sorry, that's what I say this. I give Raj credit for showing up. Raj been consistent.
Oh, he just here to hate now. He wasn't here the whole Toronto series. I'm never going to give him credit.
Give him credit because he's still here to win. The only time I would take away a little bit of credit is after we spanked y'all a couple games, you kind of disappeared. But I give you credit for being back even after we win. I like that you're enjoying the show. Keep it up. Yeah, I mean, spread the love, like, share, subscribe, the whole kit and caboodle. But go ahead, Ethan. You was about to say something. My friend. Go ahead.
No, so I was gonna say, do y'all feel better about Harden now after this game? Do y'all feel a little more? I feel a little more comfortable with the trade after this, because, like I said, I expected this from him. Y'all was telling me he can't do it no more. Y'all was telling me he can't do it no more. So with that mean, you don't expect him to do this no more?
I mean, if he should, I agree with you that he should if circumstances go like this. But if you look at it, he balled out in the first half last game. But then in the second half, Maxey was cooking and they just kept feeding Maxey. Yeah, so it was no reason for him. It was no reason for him to try to keep jacking up shots and everything else.
Last game from 3.
Huh? Well, yeah, from 3, but he scored like 15 points in the first quarter, in the first half. He don't act like he didn't carry us for a stretch in the first half last game, and then Maxey brought it home in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, now Stephen A. Smith gonna be all Joe about Harden. He was hating on Harden for all systems.
That's what I can't wait. I can't wait.
Exactly. Charlie M said it right. I was the only one expecting this. I was Charlie M.
No. Ethan was not expecting it. He said he wanted to see. He said Harden need to do it. It wasn't like he said, "I believe Harden's gonna come out here and do this next game." Yeah, that's not what he said.
You did. I agree with that. He tried to do what Tim did. What Tim said he called the Maxey game.
But I was saying he should be able to do it. He should.
Yeah, he said he should be able to do it.
I agree with you. I said that too. I agree with you, man. You were the one arguing with Wayne about how he should be able to do it. So I agree with you. Was I expecting it? No. At this point, I wasn't expecting no more. But I'm glad we got it.
But that was my point. Is I just didn't think that he had it in him to do it.
I tell you one thing though, you know what's irritating about these national dudes like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith? They the dudes, right? They almost set themselves up for a win-win situation because they scream off when these dudes like Harden them, and then when they have a good game, it's almost like they're the reason they had a good game. Like I called them out. So
like the Latsons do.
No. I know we did it at the Bend. We tried to do it at the Bend, but he was too thick-headed. It wouldn't work. But that's a story for another day. I was trying my darndest to get Ben to step his game up. But all that being said, Harden, I'm not saying I'm not expecting this game again from Harden, at least this series. Now I am expecting if we advance, which I expect us to do, him to give us at least one more game like this against whoever we play, Milwaukee or Boston, to be determined. That's how I feel about Harden.
As long as Jimmy ain't the one sticking him, because Jimmy put the cuffs on him. He kept trying to drive down here. Jimmy was Brodying the ball out his hands.
Do y'all know why Duncan Robinson not playing for the Heat? Do y'all know why Duncan Robinson not playing for the Heat?
No, why not?
I don't know. I'm just saying
I don't care.
You're supposed to be the stat boy and all this. Look it up and come back.
I think it's because it's for some reason he probably don't think that he's going to go on it. He's probably going with the more tougher players, the more physical players. I mean,
maybe he could do. Kimberly Davis said Harden wouldn't even do the post game interview with TNT because all the talking. Maybe he'll give us one. Tim, reach out to him.
Reach out.
Yeah, they came at him so hard. He was like, I ain't
Harden gonna mess around. He gonna do some research and he gonna hear Ethan in here hating, talking about something. Give me Halliburton, and then he gonna be like, man, it's true.
He gonna listen to one podcast and hear Ethan calling Weber Harden, and he gonna be out.
Yup.
So there's that goes. They said William Collins said
they gave him $90 million last year, and he just on the bench, not playing at all.
He said Duncan is not a good defender. He might get cooked. Maybe that's some of the reason.
Hero not a good. Well, I mean, Hero a little
Yeah,
bad.
but Hero's a bucket.
He can shoot the lights out. Yeah, if he get hot, he
And
was off.
it wasn't even just
He
shooting.
was
Like he
awful.
actually made some nice plays, like pump fake and then scoop shots and stuff like that too.
He's nice. He got some moves. He's a good 6-man. He was off from 3 because he had like 2 wide open ones that he missed. I was surprised.
Me too.
But man, when Jimmy Butler seen Tyrese Maxey, his eyes got green. He went straight at him.
I mean,
I
you
ain't
got
like
to,
that.
you got
Butler was going at everybody. He was going at Joel Embiid.
He was.
He was just.
Jimmy was in his bag.
Jimmy was on one tonight, man. He. I was watching this video where he was.
I am Sergeant Bass.
It was like a dribble. I guess one of his workouts that he did where he just dribbled and he dribbled just with each hand nonstop, like do real close to the ground. He did it for like 1 minute with one hand, 1 minute with the next hand, went back 1 minute. Like it was crazy. He definitely worked out. Jimmy Butler. Like he a worker on the craft, and that's you see it in games like this. Anytime you could put your back to the basket against Joel Embiid, who got him by at least 3-4 inches and 100 pounds, probably maybe not that much, maybe like 70 pounds, and score on him. That's saying something. Jimmy was in his bag. He was on one.
Man, I agree with you. I still wish we had Jimmy Butler. I've been saying that
for years.
I would.
I don't think any of us wanted Jimmy to go.
To stop going for every pump fake.
Keep
your feet on the ground.
Remember Maxey? That's what happened when you don't play a lot. Remember Maxey was doing that? Maxey finally started staying on the feet a little longer too. But you don't play a lot, you ain't ready. Especially on defense, you hype, you try and make a play. You're not thinking, you just reacting. So he's gonna need a couple more games before he starts settling down, staying on the ground.
You think?
Hey, listen, we traded Butler because he didn't want to play here for Brett Brown. Let's not get it twisted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this is Harden is out of slump now. You think this is?
I hope so.
You know what? Listen, to that point though, because it might be something to that. Because all right, like you know how sometimes it's like all right, and I've been guilty of that too. Sometimes saying all right, well, Harden just worried about being a facilitator. I would like him to be more aggressive, but you can tell him missing his shots was getting in his own head. Because when he started hitting them shots tonight, you seen him, like you saw everything coming out of him. So you know them frustrations was kicking in on him. So hopefully, seeing that ball go in the bucket a couple times, you know what I'm saying? You know,
nice.
Get him a little bit loose.
Somebody said Jimmy, they think that Jimmy regret leaving. I mean, I do think the decision. I'm not gonna say it was impulsive, but it was. I don't think he foresaw Brett leaving anytime soon and us getting like a Doc Rivers in. I think
he lives in Miami full time,
and he made it to a finals. I think Jimmy's fine.
Has he won? Has he won one? I think he won
with the Sixers.
I think with this team, I think we could legit win. If he would, let's say you replace him with Tobias, you don't think we'd be in a guaranteed spot at least in the finals? I'm not saying we won't win it, but if you,
I get that.
I would take that all day long, and I think he know that too. But
yeah, Jermaine told us some South Beach over Philly over South Beach. Yeah, okay.
Jimmy. It's gonna be hard to get him out of there.
When you got money, you could have a home there in summertime.
All year long. Every time
it is though about they.
Oh wait, is that his money tax free in Miami too? Oh, say less.
Florida.
Say less.
Texas.
Say less.
Now that means but you be told. Yeah, I remember. I think you might still be able. It might be a loophole with that. I was listening to an interview. I think with the dude. What's the Micah Parsons, the dude that Dallas drafted, and he was saying he's a young boy. He already had a residency set up in Dallas because the same thing is true in Dallas even before he got drafted, because he somebody schooled him about the taxes. And if you get a residency set up, then you don't have to pay taxes even if you play somewhere else or something like that. He was saying, I forget what he said, but it's sometimes there's loopholes you can still get your tax-free bread if you know what you're doing. But yeah, listen, I do think he would have fared better here championship wise. So we'll see how the rest of the series turn out. But I do think he liked playing with Joel. I don't think he liked playing
absolutely
with Ben, and I don't think he liked coaching. I don't think he liked being coached by Brett.
And both of them are gone. So
I think this whole series is predicated on how we look next year, man. Winning this series, Doc, even Harden's extension, man. We got to win this series. We win this series, Doc's coming back. I believe. But if we lose this series, I think Doc going, depending on how Harden look the rest of his games. I heard rumors about him signing the extension. Hopefully that's true. Hopefully he can sign an extension. We can get him back here for one more year. Then get to look at him. They can get a real good look at him for a whole year to see how they look.
He's not going to do that. He's either going to opt in and get a max deal, or don't opt in and do one of them Chris Paul deals and just take like $40 million for the next 4 years. Like,
he's not doing a 1 year. I thought it was rumors about him signing a 1 year. Because remember, he could do the 1 year.
That would be stupid.
The extension.
That would be stupid. The 1 year is only to predicate so he can get the super max. If you don't opt in, he won't be able to get the super max. That's the only reason why he would opt in.
I mean, it's
hard. But if he opts in, we don't have to sign him, right? He can opt in for the 1 more year.
But he's only going to
put it this way: if he signs the extension, that's $40 million. That's his say so to say I want my $40 million next year. That's the player's option. He still, if he sign the supermax, he still has to negotiate that with the team. That extra year, that 1 year is his call.
Like, because if he signs the extension, that makes him eligible for $200 million.
Yes.
But if he don't sign an extension, the most he can make is like maybe $40 million. He'll just do a 4 year, $160 million deal. So that's why it's advantageous. But he said he might just look out for the Sixers. I don't know, because he did turn down Houston's $200 million when they offered it him.
I told y'all that earlier, and y'all was like, where you hear that from? I told you that he said that a while back though.
If he turned down Houston, I'm sure he'll give us a discount.
He turned down Houston, but he got traded, and he can still
now, mind you, he's not just saying just to help the Sixers out. He's talking about to help himself out too, because
he got a $200 million deal from Houston.
If he takes a lesser deal, that may put the Sixers in a better position to bring more help in.
Exactly.
That's his reasoning.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, hopefully he do. Hopefully Morey work it out. He brought him in here, so it's his problem to work out, to iron out all the kinks. Sergeant Bass, I see. This is where I feel about the bench. He said we still need a bench. At a certain point, your starters become your bench, and I say that because we a top heavy team. So at a certain point, you rest your starters in increments and bring them in with your bench and keep your starters in your bench rotation. So your starters are your bench. You can, and the reality is in this league or in this team where we so top heavy and we've paid the players a lot of money, it's going to be hard for us to get these great bench players that we do need. I mean, we could use, but when you top heavy, you got to kind of go with what you got. It's like,
I don't think that's necessarily true though. I mean, if we have any kind, because you'll have guys that's willing to come here because it's a chance. Remember how Brian used to get all these old head dudes, like boys just wanted to come on. They just wanted to play with Brian because they knew it was a chance they was going to be in the finals. So they taking like lesser money to sign on. So if the Sixers look right,
Harden doesn't have an agent.
He don't
have an agent.
Hey, Alex Dickinson. Alex Dixon, the Heat did shoot that bad at home. If you recall, game 1, they shot 25% from 3. So they were shooting poorly.
Shot worse.
Even right, we just shot 17%. So don't tell me they're not going to shoot that they don't shoot that bad at home. They have.
Yeah. I mean, if we get a Clarkson, Sergeant Bass, I'm all for it. I just think it's going to be hard for you to get. I mean, I know. See, Wayne more so talking about a lot of them bulls we glommed on with Brian was older guys that could give you a couple minutes. I mean, I guess that's all you need from the bench if you could get one of them dudes. But I would like a younger stud. Most likely, you're gonna have to draft a dude like that. That's like you got to be very diligent in your draft selection and get a cat like that.
Listen, we did shoot great. We shot 54% from the field, 48% from 3. But we don't need to be that great. That was good. I don't think we need to be that great to beat the Heat. Even though the Heat, they shot 20% from 3 tonight, 46% from the field. What was the Heat a great 3-point shooting team anyway? I'm curious for the year. Curious what they were.
That's a good question.
I don't know. We gotta look that up. Either is there any validity to what Sergeant Bash just said? He said since the Baldy, since Ethan went ball, we now 2-0.
Oh yeah, it's true.
That's true.
It's true.
So I mean, so is it power in the ball head? Maybe it's all four. Because when our powers combine, we like the Power Rangers with it. Like,
we gotta put our heads together. Put our heads together on the screen. I don't know what y'all that.
But our powers combined, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get us to the championship.
Whoops.
So
I'm still not
real
that used
quick,
to it yet.
Listen, this Sixers game was incredible. I do want to talk about that play, the John Morant. John, do y'all think that play was a dirty play with Jordan Poole grabbed John Morant leg like that?
Yep.
I don't.
I ain't even watch
I'm
it.
gonna tell you why. When you slapping and reaching for the ball, sometimes you can hit stuff you don't expect. I remember I slapped somebody in the basketball court reaching for the ball. I think y'all was there. You you going for the ball. It's not intentional. He was going for the ball. They were both reaching for the ball. I think was it Dre? Somebody else was over there too with him. Was it Draymond?
Yeah, it was Wiggins. It was Wiggins.
Wiggins. That's right. They was both trying to reach for the ball, and the ball moved so fast it was delayed, and it wasn't intentional. But that wasn't even a play where he got hurt though.
And Jermaine Carson, it was him that you slapped in the face, but that's
no, he probably got a few people on that list because he's a hack like that.
So, what you think? You thought it was dirty?
I thought it was dirty. I mean, and I don't watch Jordan Poole enough to say if he's a dirty player or not, but I believe that play was dirty. And I think it was retaliation.
You really grabbed his knee, tried to twist it. Stop.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you. I go ahead, Tim. I offer my
because they was already mad about the whole situation with the bull Gary Payton Jr. So I think it was just a little bit of I think it was done purposely. I don't think he meant to like really cause as much damage, but that was a purposely done play to me. That's how I believe. When I seen that, I sent it to y'all yesterday. I was saying, listen, Jordan Poole dirty. Send it to all y'all.
I kind of agree with Tim a little bit, and y'all know I'm rooting for Golden State via Steph Curry. But what I saw, it was a certain angle I saw, and it was one angle. He actually had one hand on his back and the other hand on his leg, and he pushed and pulled at the same time. You don't reach for the ball like that. Like he had one jaw and he was pushing it and pulling on his back, and from that angle, it looked suspect to me. Plus, like Tim said, if you hear all the post-game interviews from Golden State players, they constantly keep bringing up what happened to GP2. Yep. They keep saying, oh, man, we don't club people upside the head, how dirty of a play that was. So a lot of times, just in your mind, you may not even be going in there to do that, but if the opportunity avails itself, you might do that. I thought it looked a little suspect to me. That's what I say.
What was you laughing at, Ethan? What was you laughing at, Ethan?
I was laughing at the bull, Phil Evans.
Yeah.
That was a good one, Phil. That was a good one.
What he said?
You on point. Kyle Lowry got a little better jumper though than Eric Snow.
He said Kyle Lowry is Eric Snow with a BBL.
He is kind of like Eric Snow a little bit, but I do agree he got a better jumper than Eric Snow. But we looking at Kyle Lowry right now. He was a better player 3-4 years ago. He's injured right now. End of his career. Plus, he's hobbling around like a hamster.
No, the last few years he's been a caricature. All that.
I'm talking about when he was good.
Antics. No. Tim's saying because of his injury, he's just all with the him and PJ. Like come on, like play ball with the dumb stuff. All the jumping under people, flopping around. Y'all trying to hurt some. To me, that's dirty ball. Like jumping under people and falling, all that type stuff. That's how somebody get hurt.
The PSAs are not great. I think they reach into it. Was a spur of the moment. It was you trying to defend with one hand and reach with the other. I
could be wrong.
I don't even think Jordan Poole that type of player. I didn't think he that type of guy. Now, if it was Draymond, maybe you would have an argument. You know what I mean? It was somebody else, but Jordan Poole don't strike me as that type. He balling. Why do you? A player that needs to hurt somebody is somebody like a Marquise Morris. That's a player that goes in there and try to intensely hurt somebody. To me, somebody that's getting minutes, they ball and they putting up numbers. To me, they like the competition. You don't go out, you're a competitive ball. They gonna get off, you gonna get off, So I don't think that was intentional. I think it just happened.
I mean,
but that way they got hurt.
When I first saw it, I kind of thought what you thought, but as I saw a couple other angles, it looked a little different to me. I mean, I hope he didn't do that. I hope he didn't do that, but to me, it just looked a little suspect. But I agree with you. I never seen him do nothing dirty. I watch Golden State all the time. I never seen him do nothing dirty. I wouldn't categorize him as a dirty player. But the play just looks sus. That's all I'm saying about it.
Yeah. All right. Before we cut out of here, I just want to go back to Harden and the turnovers that because he had 5 turnovers the first half of the game. He did finish with only 6, so he got it together in the second half. So that's a plus. But man, the deeper we go in the playoffs, they got to be cut down like at least in half. I mean, that's just too many. So I don't know what y'all think, but
do you think they turn the ball over more than everybody else? Because you saying this every game, every round, and yet we're winning.
I agree, sexy scenarios with that comment. By the way.
we was losing.
They might not know the injury.
We came back. We won.
I'm about to say, the only listen, and I don't. Because I'm a flex right now because all those Miami people talking that, oh, don't matter what Embiid. I told y'all if Embiid was playing from the jump,
it'd be over.
From the jump,
3-1.
We'd be up 3-1.
Y'all would be mentally defeated, everybody except for Jimmy. But right now, as it stands, he didn't play the first 2 games.
Hold on, because
and that being said, I think Embiid still's not back in the flow yet. I don't think that he's fully hit his stride yet.
Hold on, but Ephraim want to defend Draymond. Draymond not a dirty player, but dudes like Draymond to me is like a Marcus Smart, right? Ephraim was all upset when Marcus Smart hurt Steph Curry, but he's not a dirty player. But it's players like him that just they go to like the extra level that might not be needed, and that's how people get hurt.
I agree.
I mean?
I absolutely agree.
They play like how Joel did when he first came in the league, like real extra. We like, yo, chill.
Like,
it's like the what's the boy name played for the Timberwolves?
Can y'all get the naked jerk?
Sergeant Bass, get on your game.
I was about to say, what's that? A new dance or something?
Ethan, what's the dude name played for Minnesota? Patrick Beverly. They he like that. Like he go 2 extras. I don't think you're a dirty player, but sometimes you doing the extra dive and when it ain't necessary, and then you end up hitting somebody knee or ankle. That's how Smart hit Steph Curry. But I agree with you.
Hold up. First of all,
they got reported.
Golden State, one of the dirtiest teams in history. Ain't they the ones that broke Kawhi Leonard, the boy, y'all, when y'all had the big boy that ran under Kawhi Leonard ankle and broke his ankle to help y'all win one of them chip years? Like y'all, Draymond stayed kicking people in the down low area and everything else. Y'all dirty.
In the scrotum.
Golden State is dirty.
That was incidental. His leg just flared up.
Everything is incidental.
They used to always have JaVale McGee out there running around just hacking people just to hack them. Like, y'all dirty.
No. But so the only legit play that you said about all of them was the bull, Jaja Pachulia when he ran up under Kawhi. That was a dirty play. I agree with you.
So Draymond ain't been playing dirty all these years?
No, Draymond just play hustle. He's so active in the middle. Sometimes his fingers getting people.
So when he going up for a basket and somebody block a shot and he kick him in the nuts, that ain't dirty.
No, he's swinging. He's just flowing his legs.
It was like Joel.
Stop defending that nonsense. He's
remember when Joel slapped Bam? Was that dirty?
Joel's a dirty player.
When Joel, he's dirty player.
Don't get Tim started. This is all Tim wanted. That's not Tim the kid.
Joel's my man, but Joel's a dirty player.
What'd you say?
When Joel slapped Bam, was that dirty?
Honestly, I don't think a lot of the players y'all talked about is necessarily dirty. When I think of players dirty, I'm trolling Ethan. I'm trolling Ephraim talking about Golden State. But I think a lot of times people put this thing as a dirty. I agree with Ethan. A lot of times people put this thing as a dirty play just because you're playing physical, and sometimes it might even be the smart play to make a hard foul, but you hold the guy up. Yep. Like that's what you do. So now, to me, if you're doing something like say if you're consistently run, that's why I say to me, when you're running up under somebody trying to take a charge and not leaving them room to fall, come down off of a shot and stuff like that, I think that's dirty because it's a chance of you really hurting them unnecessarily.
Scotty Barnes, all of a sudden he pretended like he didn't see that his foot was right underneath him. Broke his foot.
Stop it, Scotty Barnes. That was his fault. Glad Embiid didn't hurt himself stepping on him. Stop running up underneath of him.
He tried to take him out. That's my man. But I know. Anyway.
Like when the bull swung the elbow in the B face and all that kind of. Come on, man, stop. Bulls be trying to take Beat out all the time.
Tell him, man. That's exactly what it is. Beat is just big. You're a big guy. Guys got to understand a big man makes big movements. Remember how when Shaq was doing all that? Oh, it's 30 what Shaq doing to Mutombo. Mutombo's leaning in. Shaq big as I don't know what. When he move, he's going to make a move. Stop sticking your chin in and stop running in underneath of a big man.
Can't do that. You can't do that in this basketball. You can't do that.
Why can't you?
They're called offensive foul. If you hit somebody with an elbow in the face, it's offensive foul in the league now.
It is.
I think that's right. If somebody throw their face in there, if somebody throws their face in there, you shouldn't be able to just come running up on somebody like that and not expect contact.
The Toronto game, didn't Harden try to go on like this, hit the ball in the face, got called offensive foul.
Hey, Raj.
No, I agree with you. I just don't agree with that.
Hey, Raj, of course you going to say that. Of course you will say that. But B is not a dirty player. When you and this is why I kind of said the same thing about Draymond. Though, when you in the middle all the time, B plays in the middle. Draymond plays. He plays.
Yo, why y'all be why y'all be timing out Raj? We don't see it on here. They time out Raj almost every comment.
Yeah, let Raj ride, but because they losing anyway, he gonna hate on the Sixers all the way to our championship, so that's gonna be fine.
He gonna hate so hard that he become a Sixers fan.
But when you play down low, you gonna be in the mix a lot. Beat is always down low. Draymond is always down low. So chances of you hitting somebody, slapping somebody, kicking somebody possibly in the less desirable area, it's gonna happen from time to time because you active, especially with a boy like Draymond because he fighting tooth and nail. Ethan, anybody know? You should know when you playing against Wayne. Remember how you used to shut down Wayne when you used to shut down Wayne in the paint? You did that because you went so hard.
Nobody that ever watched any of us play ball ever believed that.
Remember you used to get Wayne fit down low, but you was active. You had to use every inch.
Wayne would just talk about the 3-point line. He just played shot the three because
Wayne would go for a basket and Ethan be hanging on my arm like that. Tell me some, watch your elbow while he's holding on my arm.
Every bit of his stature to keep Wayne at bay, and that's what Draymond got to do. So sometimes you might smack a cat in the face, and you might poke him in the eye or something. That just happens.
You all going for the ball. It's going for the ball.
All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We will be back on Tuesday evening. We back in Miami, so hopefully Harden goes straight to bed after the flight and be ready for the game.
Hey, listen, hold on, real quick though. We have been saying a lot about the timeout. Like for real, y'all can't be unless people out of pocket. Don't time them out. We might have to start taking some of them wrenches, man. Like we like the interaction with other people, so don't don't time them out just because they talking trash about our squad.
Yeah, let them do that.
Unless we get once we lose in the playoffs.
Oh, our best is off then.
Then we go deputize about 10 of y'all on here.
Just to cut them all out.
Yeah, report them to YouTube. Get the account taken out. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, we on all the platforms. So like, comment, and subscribe. We out.
Deuces.